Good morning, everyone. This is another segment on Connect Together, brought to you by Tetra. And we are continuing on with our series of spotlighting volunteers. So again, for those who don't know, I'm Eric Molendyke, the coordinator of the Vancouver chapter of the Tetra Society, along with the national coordinator. And today I'm privileged to be having a conversation with Ruben Ugarte. And Ruben is a volunteer for the Vancouver chapter of Tetra. And Ruben and I were just talking beforehand. I believe Ruben has been a volunteer with Tetra since 2008. And so, how are you this morning, Ruben?
Yes. Hi, Eric. Very good. Thank you. And you?
I'm good. I'm good. What I like is both of us are set up here, and we both have our paintings in the background. So
Yes.
we kind of have similar backdrops. I like that, and of course, I see your diploma in your background. So I figured I would start with that and just kind of talk about um, a little bit of background about yourself and your engineering background.
Okay. Well, I went to Louisiana State University after graduating from high school, originally in Honduras, Central America. I went to LSU for a degree in mechanical engineering and then a master in industrial engineering. And when I graduated in 1984, I went back to Honduras and worked in the engineering field in different companies for about 18 years before we decided to come to Canada and live here. So we moved here in 2004 with the family. We have a daughter and a son. So they were teenagers when we came in 2004. And then I started working here as an engineer and got my professional engineering designation in 2007 with the APEC back then. Now it's EGBC. And he's been working since in different fields in engineering and different companies. Now we own our own company where we do consulting and engineering and also real estate investing for a few years now. Thank
Yes. And how did you? So you have this engineering background, and that's quite a journey. So you come to Vancouver. And then how did you hear about Tetra, or what made you consider to volunteer for Tetra?
Well, when I joined the APEC um, back in 2007, I started looking for some volunteer opportunities, and in the website, in the APEC website, there was Tetra, and I contacted back then Tetra, fill up an application, and came into the first meeting, which was being held at the APEC building in one of those meeting rooms. That's how I started, and I started meeting the people, and then after a couple of meetings, I was assigned my first project. I started working mainly with Harry Hardy, and he taught me a lot. So yeah, from then on, I've been in different projects along the years.
Yes, and so for those who don't know, Harry Hardy he's about to turn 98 years old. He's been a Tetra volunteer since 1994. And Harry has a mechanical engineering background, and Ruben and Harry have worked together on a number of projects. They've teamed up on a number of projects, and of course, Ruben, you do a number of projects in the North Shore. So, in talking about Harry, you guys would always have great conversations. And I know at times after you've done projects for clients, they would invite you in for coffee and cookies and different things. And one of the projects I remember you working on with Harry is this client had a really long driveway, and the two of you worked together um, to help him get up the driveway. Can you talk about that project?
Yeah, this is in the North Shore in North Vancouver. The client was a young guy that he was in a wheelchair, but they live in a house that had a 50 feet driveway with about 20 degrees inclination, and the OT uh, used to push Bayan, that was his name, up this driveway every day to go up and down and go for for rides around the block. So when we came in, we saw the challenge, and it was quite a challenge installing a hoist to pull the wheelchair or to hold the wheelchair going down. But at the same time, we had to install a cable because we didn't want to do it on a wireless a remote controller because it could derail the hoist. So there was a cable, and the wheelchair will be connected to this stainless steel cable going down and going up. And the OT, um, it was a lot easier because the OT was actually not doing any force by holding the wheelchair. He worked for a good number of years until sadly Bayan passed away. I think a couple of years ago. But he used that project for many years.
And it's just an example of kind of the ingenious solution. And you and Harry would work together. You would do the electrical, and he would do the mechanical. It always sticks out of a showcase of teamwork of volunteers. And of
Yes.
course, those who might be seeing this feature might recognize your face because you, if you click on the Tetra website, there's a picture of you with a client.
Yeah.
You did a bike trailer, and
Yeah.
you've done a number of bike trailers, and a number of times you won the Gizmo Award as voted on by your fellow volunteers for the best child's projects. So the picture of you on the website, it's a great picture. And talk about kind of the bike trailers that you've created over the years or projects for children.
That bike trailer on that picture was a lot of satisfaction um, because the client was a girl. I think she was around 12 years old, but with I would call it she could not walk very well. So the passion was that the dad wanted to take her for uh, rides with in the bike, and there was not a solution for him to sit her on the back of the bike safely. So the project was to adapt a wheelchair inside a bike trailer, it was a double bike trailer. So that was the challenge, and that was the solution, and it worked very well, and it worked. I haven't seen David. That was the dad's name. I haven't seen them. I think they moved to Kelowna. But yeah, it was really very good. We have a couple of videos of that project also when Nadia was her name. Nadia was so happy riding in the back of, of the on the bike trailer, sitting on a wheelchair. Yes.
Yeah, so I just shared my
They-
screen there, Ruben. Can you see the picture of it?
yes, I can see the
Yeah,
picture.
so this is what Ruben is talking about, and as you can see, smiling faces all around. And right when you go to our website, Ruben, this is what welcomes people to the website. So
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
it was a great project, and
Yeah.
as Ruben was describing, she needed some extra support. So you can see the safety straps, the adapted seats got armrests, and it would attach to the back of the dad's bike. It, Ruben created a hitch. It would attach on the back, and they would be able to ride around the neighborhood and take bike rides together. And it was again a great project, and it's still one of the the most used pictures in our Tetra presentations. So
Yes, I
yeah,
see that. I
any
see
and Ruben, I got to say, you look about the same. So there you go. You don't age, my friend.
that. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, that's I think that's about 2010, I think.
Yes, that is correct. Yes,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was 2010.
yeah.
And aside from Tetra and volunteering, you're still working and busy. So
Yep.
you life never slows down. You're one of our volunteers who is still working in the field of engineering while volunteering.
Yes, yeah, and I mean, I travel. I travel at least once a month. Well, not recently because of the situation, but on a regular year, I will travel. Many times, and but that I like it. I travel for both of the businesses that we have, the consulting and the real estate. Yes, and I like it. I like the flexibility to do projects if I can, if I'm not busy. I like to do projects, well, mainly in the North Shore, and provide solutions to clients, and the joy of the client when we make the solution work for them. That's actually the reward. As a volunteer, that is the main reward when I see the faces, or when I get the the thank you notes or the thank yous. Sometimes they will come and hug me uh, when they get the solution working. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's the best part of on this volunteer work.
Yeah, well, thank you. Um, thank you so much, Ruben. And there's one other project that came to my mind that because I just wanted to give an example of how one project can help many. You did one for an organization. They wanted to be able to play ping pong, and you designed a way they wanted to practice their swing. So you designed a way where the ball kind of would float up in the air and hold there because it was to help people with a cognitive delay to be able to practice ping pong. And I just thought um, I wanted to end on an example of you helping many people with one project. Can you just touch on that one because that was such a fun one?
Yes, actually, it was a simple solution, but it was a tough challenge because what they wanted is to hold the ping pong ball up in the air for a few seconds, so the kid, and this is mainly for kids, that they needed that ball because they have only mobility in one arm, so they cannot throw the ball like a regular ping pong player. So they wanted a mechanism. So the solution was a hair dryer pointing upwards in a way that the ball will still about 3 or 4 inches in the air, waiting for the player to hit it. And yeah, so there were many players like that they are using that system. I haven't heard from them, but we tested, and the kids were happy. Just watching that ping pong ball holding up in the air, like hovering on top of the hair dryer. So it worked. It was fun.
Yeah. Well, we always say in Tetra, no news is good news because that means they are happy and using the devices. Well,
Yeah.
Ruben, I know you're a busy guy, and I want to thank you so much for making the time. It's great to see you, and it's just great the projects that you help make for other people. So I really, really, um, and I know our clients do as well, appreciate what you do, and I thank you so much for taking the time today.
Right. Thank you. And think I appreciate what Tetra produces for me as a volunteer. Like I was mentioning, the joy of having the client, happy. And thank you for all the effort that you do to run these meetings and coordinate the volunteers for so many years. We've seen your work, and it's great. And I'm planning to continue, as long as I can do projects.
Yeah, well, you'll always be welcome with us, Ruben, and as far as myself and other Tetra staff, seeing what the volunteers give is a great motivating factor. So it's been great to speak with you this morning, and I know you'll continue to find a way to help people. And in the meantime, stay safe.
Okay, thank you, and same to you, Eric.
All right. Thanks
Okay,
again.
thank you. Bye.